Hey guys, so it's finally it's finally time here to go ahead and do my video. My little look here at the new LG Nexus 4 from LG, of course, or also known as the Google Nexus 4, the latest Nexus smartphone, versus Samsung's right now flagship device, the Samsung Galaxy S3. So this will be kind of like an interesting video to do. I saw that a lot of people wanted me to make a video like this, so let's do this, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the design, full specs. I'm gonna go ahead and do some speed testing. I'm gonna go ahead and probably also take a look a little bit here at the UI differences. Because one of them is running stock Android and also it's getting the latest Android all the time, while the other one, of course, is rocking the TouchWiz UI. I'm pretty sure you do know that, you know what I'm talking about over here. So let's go ahead now and start off by talking about the design. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn off the display. So you can see that I have a white Galaxy S3 here, and I have the new Nexus 4. And you can see here that this is how it looks like on the front side. You can see that they are kind of like the same size almost. I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit more exactly about the dimensions when I talk about the specs. But you can see that they are kind of like the same size here on the front side. You can see one very big difference here on the front side is that you don't get any real buttons down here. You can really see that, you know, they have removed those. So you just have that little bump down there, but you don't have any buttons. They are built into the software. So that could be a bad thing if you would like to turn on your device on the front side. To turn on the Nexus device over here, you have to do it on the side, and you can't like do it with one hand without holding the device, because then it will move around. So you have to do it on the power button on the side here to enable it, and as you can see, I can activate it. While it's a little bit easier here, of course, when you have a hardware button, because you can enable it immediately on the front side, but also on the side here. So you have two options here to, you know, wake it up. And you can also see that when I touch the volume up and down, the screen doesn't move on any of these two devices. So that's about it. You know, it's kind of dark, very dark here. You don't have any logo or whatsoever here on the Nexus 4 up here. Of course, you have the Samsung logo up here. Both, of course, have a front-facing camera up here at the top as well. If you now go ahead and take a quick look here at the bottom of these two devices, you can see that we both have a connector down there to charge it, as we usually have with these devices. You can also see here, if we go ahead and check out the side, both have a power on button there on the right side. On the left side, both also has that little place where you have volume up and down. You can also see that on the left side here on the Nexus 4, you have where you insert your SIM card. So if you want to call people, that's where you do it. On here at the top, you can see that we have the headphone jack here also on both at the top. You can also see that we can remove the back here, because on the Galaxy S3, of course, as with a lot of Samsung devices, you can remove the battery, and you also have that's where you insert your SIM card behind this back plate if you remove this. And also you have the SD card option there as well. While on the new Nexus device, you can't remove the back. So that could be a good thing or a bad thing, So as you can see right now at the back, you finally see the Nexus text there. You can see another Samsung text here. You can also see the LG text down here. And you have the camera, an 8 megapixel camera here. And it may be a little bit hard to see, but you have an 8 megapixel camera there on the side. You have this kind of glass back here as well on the Nexus 4, which is a little bit cool, When you look at it, you can see that kind of cool like thing. It feels a little bit glassy, or it feels like glass here on the back. Kind of feels like almost at the front. But you can also feel that on the sides, especially on the Nexus 4, you have this kind of rubber feeling, which I actually do enjoy. So you have like a glass back here at the back, and then you get this kind of nice rubber feel on the sides, and then you have the of course the Gorilla Glass 2 on the front side here. Samsung, of course, they're rocking their kind of plastic feeling here on the back, so it definitely doesn't feel as good. And then at the whole front side here, it kind of feels the same here as on the Nexus 4 here. If I say Galaxy Nexus sometimes in this video, I just mean the Nexus 4. But sometimes, I've been playing around with a lot with the Galaxy Nexus, but it's the Nexus 4 I'm talking about if I do say something wrong. Now, let's go ahead and talk, now we'll talk a little bit about the design. Something I also can mention is, yes, I mean, like, as I said there, to sum it up, the design feels a lot better here to feel and hold. It feels more exclusive, definitely, the Nexus 4 compared to the Galaxy S3. So that's something that's, of course, extremely nice. One thing though I like more with the Galaxy S3 is that it is more curved, especially on the sides. So it feels a lot better, me naturally, to hold it in my hand. And when I hold it in my hand, I can definitely see that I have my thumb already lying here on the power on button. When I do the same thing here, on the Nexus 4, it is a little bit different here. It doesn't feel exactly as good as on my Galaxy S3, and I don't think that would change in the future. And all that has to do that it feels better on the Galaxy S3 down here at the bottom of the device. It feels a lot better, even though this has a nice rubber feel, but it's more curved on the Galaxy S3. Definitely something that I do appreciate a lot more. Then I also really like, that you have this hardware button here. I really do hope that Samsung doesn't remove that in the next Galaxy phone, because I actually like to be able to turn on the phone, with one hand like this. It's kind of hard to do it with one hand on these smartphones that doesn't have a home button. So, a quick look there in terms of the design. Let's go ahead now and talk a little bit about the specs on these two very beautiful smartphones over here. So, if we go ahead now and start talking, let's go ahead and now. First, the thing I want to say here is that in most countries, from what I've seen, the Galaxy S3 should be way more expensive than the Nexus 4. In my country, they cost almost the same. Yeah, I know it's kind of crazy, but the Nexus 4 is extremely expensive in my country. So, of course, that could be an advantage if you live in, like the US. I'm pretty sure you can get the Nexus 4 way cheaper than what I did, get it for like $600 to $700. That's what I had to pay to get the Galaxy, or to get the Nexus 4. So, a little bit annoying there when I see that people in the States can buy for like $200. While the Galaxy S3 should be a little bit more kind of expensive in like the US compared to the Nexus 4, but in my country they cost almost around the same. So the first thing here that you might want to know is that there are LTE variants of the Galaxy S3 out, but there's like no LTE variant, like no 4G variant of the Nexus 4 device out. I know that some people have been hacking it and they found like a way to activate it or something if you do some hack things, and if it's it must be on a specific carrier, you can get some kind of ish LTE speeds or something, but then you have to hack it, tweak it. But officially there is no like 4G Nexus 4. So something that you might want to know. Of course, the Galaxy S3 came out this summer, while this new Nexus 4 just came out here in October. So it's a very new and fresh device over here. But that doesn't mean that it has all bumped up specs. We're gonna go ahead and of course check out the speed in different apps and things like that. So the kind of display that we get on the Nexus 4 here is a True, listen, this is a very long name, True HD IPS Plus, which looks very good. Now, you might want to know how it stacks up against the Super AMOLED screen here that you get, of course, on the Galaxy S3. Of course, it's a 4.7 inch Nexus 4 here, while the Galaxy S3 is a little bit bigger with 4.8 inch. And also the resolution here is 768 times 1280 on the Nexus 4 versus 720 times 1280 here on the Galaxy S3. So it's a little bit higher on the new Nexus 4, and also it's a little bit higher, and also that the screen is a little bit smaller, 4.7 inch versus 4.8 inch, makes so the PPI on the Nexus 4 is a little better. So the PPI is basically pixels per inch. So it's 318 pixels per inch on the Nexus 4, while it's 306 pixels per inch on the Galaxy S3. So it's around like 12 more pixels per inch. Really not that a big deal. But you will probably see that the text is tiny bit clearer, especially when you go in, in the Kindle app or something, and we're probably going to go ahead and check out that a little bit later. So the screen resolution is a little bit higher, but you also might want to know here how these two screens stacks up, and we're going to go ahead and do some browser testing, and then we'll see how the screen is and all those things. But the first thing I want to say here is that the Galaxy S3 and the Super AMOLED screens is of course a lot more vibrant. It's the most vibrant colors ever, or vibrant displays ever. Colors like red looks more red compared to the Super IPS display. Green looks more green. You get a little bit more of a green looks a little bit more like light green or something like that. While on the Galaxy S3 in the Super AMOLED screen, it really looks green. Really hard color. It's so vibrant here on the Galaxy S3, and the colors are a little bit more light looking here on the Super IPS display. White, especially white, looks a lot more white. Looks more real white. Way more white than on the Super AMOLED screen. So white looks a lot better, especially on the Super IPS displays, if you ask me. So the True HD IPS display here is really amazing when you especially do some reading, because white, as I said, white looks more white. But if you do a lot of, if you like colors a lot, then there's nothing better than the Super AMOLED screen. It definitely colors is amazing. It really is awesome, especially for black. Really look black on the Super AMOLED screens. While it looks a little bit more light black or something on the True HD IPS display if you compare it to a Super AMOLED screen. So you can see a lot about the colors, and you probably will see a little bit different here in this video. You can see that most colors are a little bit more light looking. While it's a little bit more hard, more colors, hard. I'm not sure how to explain it, but colors looks more. It's more on the Super AMOLED screen, but of course, it's totally up to you to decide which kind of screen technology you like the best. I would definitely recommend that you go ahead and check it out in real life. You can definitely see here on the Chrome logo here that the colors looks a lot more colorful on the Super AMOLED screen, but then you also could argue that it looks more kind of like real on the Super IPS or True HD IPS Plus display. I will say Super, I'm not sure why. But both very beautiful displays, very beautiful screen technologies. And this True HD IPS probably looks a little bit more real, but if you like colors, if you like hard colors, you really like those nice colors. Probably some people would say that it looks a little bit more cartoon feeling here on the Super AMOLED screen, and I kind of agree, but I kind of like that. I kind of like those hard colors. It really looks nice to me. But True HD IPS, amazing. I can talk about this forever, but we don't have time to do that. Let's go ahead now and continue on. So, kind of screen protection also that you get on both these two displays. Not something that you kind of can't see, but you get like Gorilla Glass 2 on both these two devices. So it's the second generation protection. So it should be very scratch protected. I made a lot of videos when I've been having a knife against my Galaxy S3 screen, and it's been very successful. So both are very scratch protected with Gorilla Glass 2. Not that much, hammer protected, of course, but that should be kind of obvious over here. Now, let's talk about the memory. What you get with these devices. This is a thing that Google can sell. They actually sell the Nexus 4 in the Play Store. They can sell it kind of cheap. And the reason is because first of all, they come only in 18 and 16 gigabyte variants, and they don't have any SD card option. You can't remove the back like you can on the Galaxy S3, and you don't have any removable battery here as well on the on the Nexus 4 here. So that's a very big thing. You only have 18 and 16 gigabyte variants, you can't expand that. While you get 16, 32 and 64 gigabyte variants of internal storage on the Galaxy S3 Plus. You can remove the battery back and you can insert an SD card that's like up to 64 gigabytes. So you can have over 100 gigs of movies on the Galaxy S3. So definitely, if you want a lot of storage, you know, the Galaxy S3 definitely is the way to go over there. If you talk about memory as well, in terms of, you know, the internal here, you get 2 gigabytes of RAM here on the Nexus 4, so it should be awesome if you have a lot of multitasking. Where you get 1 gigabyte of RAM here on the Galaxy S3, and I also think that there's some variants in the States that has like 2 gigabytes, so there's some Galaxy S3 variants out there, and also like I don't have the LTE version of the Galaxy S3, but I do know in the States that, you know, LTE is a little bit more popular over there, and I do know that more variants of Galaxy S3 have LTE in the States, and also 2 gigabytes RAM. I think that's also one very big thing there in a lot of Galaxy S3 variants for the States. Bluetooth 4.0 should be available on both these two devices. This is the iPhone 5, so it should be awesome if you do have a lot of you know, maybe, you know, wireless stuff. It should be updated for that, because a lot of wireless stuff is using Bluetooth 4.0, or you know, I hope, you know, I know a lot of hands-free things are using Bluetooth 4.0. The other version of Bluetooth is like 3.0, and that's also something that a lot of Android devices use. You get NFC also on both T devices, so you will be able to make like NFC payments, like transfer over files and do all those kinds of awesome things very quick. You have an 8 megapixel camera on both these two devices, which I'm basically going to go ahead and check out here very soon. But my first look at the camera over there is saying that the white balance is definitely better on the Nexus 4. But in terms of focusing, it's a lot quicker, and you know, the pictures looks a little bit more sharper when I'm holding it like this and looking around with the Galaxy S3. So definitely for me, the Galaxy S3 there is still the winner. But in terms of the software, the camera software is amazing with the Nexus 4 because it's rocking the latest version of Android. But of course, that's something that you will get very soon, or hopefully in the upcoming few months here on the Galaxy S3. So it's rocking Android 4.1.2 right now, Jelly Bean, while the Nexus 4 of course is rocking 4.2 Jelly Bean. And that's something why it's being called Google Nexus, because, you know, all the Nexus devices getting the latest version of Android very quick. So, you know, 8 megapixel camera there on the back. Also 1.3 megapixel camera here on the Nexus 4 on the front, and also a 1.9 megapixel camera here on the Galaxy S3 on the front. And from what I can say there as well, it seems like the Galaxy S3, at least for me, is performing better. Also, something that I did forget to say about the Nexus 4 is one thing I did forget to say is that when you're moving around the camera, it looks a little bit more laggy on the Nexus 4, probably because the GPU ain't as strong as on the Galaxy S3. So that's something that I also think is a little bit annoying, and that's also, it's the same with the front-facing camera. You know, it's a little bit too much choppy, but the white balance is a little better than on the Galaxy S3. But I would prefer, you know, a little bit quicker focus and stuff like that, because usually I don't focus or take pictures of that much, you know, white things. So yeah, you get Android 4.2 Jelly Bean here on the Nexus device, and that's something that's very nice with Nexus devices, especially the latest ones, that they always get the latest version of Android quick, because Google push those updates out as soon as they have them. So I just updated this device. I just got a new update. So let's see here, if you go ahead and go to settings, let's see, if you go ahead and go to About Phone, you can see that I'm rocking Android 4.2.1, while I'm only rocking 4.1.2 here, and I had to flash myself in the Galaxy S3, and if I wouldn't have done that, I would still rock on Android 4.0 ice cream sandwich. But Samsung's going to push out 4.1.2 very soon. But 4.1.2 versus 4.2.1, and Google right now with Android, they are pushing out a lot of nice updates with the latest version of Android. So it's extremely nice to own a Nexus device there. It's a little bit, you know, you don't have to wait for Samsung to, you know, first, you know, they you know, of course, skin Android with TouchWiz on top, while you get the real deal here on the Nexus 4. But you have to wait for Samsung, you know, to, you know, make that latest 4.2 Jelly Bean update out, and that's taking a lot longer. I mean, like, we're probably not going to see Android 4.2 Jelly Bean until at least, you know, like January or I mean like February, March, until it's going to be available here on the Galaxy S3. So that's a little bit annoying, but of course you can flash those things yourself if you are a hacker and stuff like that. But it's very, very nice here. And that's a very, very strong selling point here also on the Nexus devices, that you get the latest version of Android very, very quick. If you talk about the kind of chipset, you get a Qualcomm chipset here on the Nexus 4. It's the APQ8064 Snapdragon chipset, where you get Samsung's own homemade Exynos 4412 chipset here. Which one performs better? Well, we're going to go ahead and do some speed testing here very, very soon, and you will see that for yourself. So you get a quad-core processor in both these two devices, a 1.5 GHz Crate one on the Nexus 4, while you get the quad-core 1.4 GHz Cortex-A9 processor here on the Galaxy S3. If you talk about the GPU, we get the Adreno 320 GPU here on the Nexus 4, while we get the Mali 400 MP on the Galaxy S3. So we're gonna go ahead and do some gaming and check out the GPU and all those good things. One thing here that's kind of fun here, they're both rocking a 2100 milliamp battery, something that's very, very nice. LG has been coming better lately with, you know, battery power. The LG Optimus 4X also got like 2200 milliamps or something like that. So that's very, very, very nice. Now we have been talking a lot about the specs on these wonderful devices. Let's go ahead and load some websites. So I'm going to use the stock browser in both these two devices. So I'm going to use Google Chrome, which is stock browser in Android 4.2 Jelly Bean, versus a lot of people have been complaining that I use Google Chrome in my, you know, TouchWiz smartphone here on my Galaxy S3. So I'm going to use the stock browser here instead. So let's go ahead and fire up the browser on both these two devices, and I can immediately see that white looks a lot more white, especially way more natural for me here on, let's see, on the Nexus 4 device. So let's go ahead now and load up a website. Let's go ahead and fire up, let's say, Phone Arena. There we go. And let's see if the camera is aligned. There we go. Wow. Load up way, way quicker here on the Nexus 4 while it's loading on the Galaxy S3. I maybe already was on this website. Then I'm very, very sorry. So when we take a look here, of course the UI I think is a little bit more clean here in Google Chrome, but of course I'll also have the Google Chrome browser I can go ahead and try, but I thought it would be more fun here if I try out different. You can also see that, you know, the display size is becoming a little bit smaller here on the Nexus 4, because the capacitive touch buttons here is taking up space. So you get a much bigger viewing experience up here, of course, on the Galaxy S3. When we go ahead now and try to zoom in, let's see. Something that I already could feel when I zoom in and out is that it feels a lot better on the Galaxy S3, because it feels like even though I do it like this, it feels like it's taking a little bit too long for it to react before it starts to zoom in, while it feels like it's a little bit quicker here to realize that I want to zoom in. So definitely that's something that I do a lot more here on the Galaxy S3. Something also, let's see here, something also that I can feel, let's see here, just because it has a glass back, it's the same as the problem I have been having with some iPhones, is that it's moving around when I'm doing things. As you can see, it's moving around. It's annoying, okay? Let's say you want to use the device with one hand and you just want to zoom in for your friends or something. I mean, like, this could be something very, very small, but I like it more here that it doesn't move around that much here on the Galaxy S3. And that's something that Apple also has fixed with the new iPhone 5, kind of, I think, because they don't have a full glass back. And that could have been why they did it, I'm not really sure. But this is a small little thing that probably most reviewers won't talk about. But I think that's very, very nice. So quick look there. If you now go ahead and zoom in, I think it's extremely annoying. As you can see how much I have to, zoom in before it reacts. And as you can see right now, when I zoom in a lot, my finger's up here at the top. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, but I definitely think that it's better here on the Galaxy S3. As you can see, I'm still on the display, and I'm already a lot zoomed in. So a lot better here personally, I think, on the Galaxy S3. Yeah, I know I say Galaxy S3 a lot in this video, but I think that's very nice. Of course, in terms of speed here and smoothness, both are very rapid. Even though it feels like the Galaxy S3 here, personally for me, is performing a little bit better. I'm not that a big fan of Adreno GPUs. I mean, like the Lumia 920, which I'm currently like reviewing stuff. It has the Adreno 225 GPU, which ain't as strong as the Adreno 320, of course, but it kind of lags already in Angry Birds, and I think that kind of sucks. So, just a little thing here. And, in the browser also you can see that the colors is a lot more vibrant here on the Super AMOLED screen. Let's go ahead and tap on this. But in terms of software optimizations, it seems like it's better here on the Nexus 4, especially loading websites here, both loading still though. Both are loading, and I don't like the TouchWiz browser that much, or the Samsung built-in browser that much. Especially the tabbing system, it kind of sucks. So I would recommend it to kind of use Google Chrome if you are on Android. Let's see. Okay, there we go. It's finished up here on the Nexus 4. And I find it extremely annoying that when I use the Nexus 4 with one hand over here to just make this video, it's moving around a little bit. Could be a very small thing for you, but I think it's very nice here when it's, it stays robust here on this little boy over here. Something that I also might have not said about the size on these two devices. The Galaxy S3 is longer, it's wider, it's thinner, and it's lighter. So it's LWTL. So, they kind of have the same kind of weight, but in terms of, how thick they are, the Galaxy S3 is a little bit thinner, but it still doesn't move around when I do this with one hand. And I think that's like small, very nice things, kind of small things why I would, appreciate the Galaxy S3 more. Also, when you type, I kind of like the vibration more here on the Galaxy S3. It's a little bit more rapid and a little bit more quick, and doesn't feel as strong, but it's rapid and quick, and it feels a little bit better, I personally think, to type. While it still feels, very good here. You get the nice vibration when you type on the Nexus 4, but not as good, but it feels like a warmer vibration or something like that. Let's go ahead and go to another website that I do love a lot, or a company that I love a lot, which do also a lot of smartphone stuff. Let's go ahead and go to Pocket now. There we go. It's more rapid here in the Google Chrome browser, and also on the Nexus 4, especially loading stuff. Oops, there was a network error. Okay, still loading. But it's finished here. So in terms of loading speed, I would like, Nexus 4 is better. But in terms of the experience, I kind of still would pick the Galaxy S3 here, because it has those things that it's a little bit more smooth when you are scrolling up and down. It doesn't move around when I'm doing things with the device because it doesn't have a glass back. Small things like that, that's why I would appreciate this little device a little bit more. And also the thing that when you zoom in, very big thing for me, it definitely feels a lot better here on the Galaxy S3 because you don't have to do it as much here. As you can see, when I'm trying to zoom in a lot, I'm already here at the top. When I do that on the Galaxy S3, it feels a lot better, okay? Personally, a lot better. It's easily the Galaxy S3 that is the winner here, especially in the browser. For me only, in app speed or in the speed here, I would say that most of the times it seems like the Nexus 4 here is quicker. Let's go ahead and try out the last website here. Let's go ahead and check out The Verge. Wow, extremely quick here. And I also have been loading these websites previously in the browser, so, you know, but it's a lot quicker here, definitely. In here, you definitely can see that you get kind of like harder or like lighter colors here. You can definitely see a big difference here. It almost kind of looks a little bit more kind of yellow feeling here, while it looks more like orange or something over here. Let's see here, when we zoom in and out, you know, I really, it's really annoying here that I have to zoom in for that, you know, it takes some time before it reacts that I'm trying to zoom in, while it's very, very rapid. I think that's one of the biggest selling points here, and especially in the browser, why the Galaxy S3 here is better. I'm kind of getting annoyed here. Let's go ahead and go out. It's kind of hard to go out here, while it's better, it feels a little bit easier here on the Galaxy S3. Let's see here if we can go ahead and go out. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and tap on one last thing. There we go. So, you know, in terms of speed, you know, loading websites, Nexus 4 seems to be better. But for me personally, I would still pick the Galaxy S3 as a clearly winner, because when you zoom in, you know, it's a lot better. Personally, for me, it reacts quicker. Also, in terms of smoothness, is better here. And also, I do probably appreciate the little bit warmer colors here on the AMOLED display. So I'm a little bit like an AMOLED fanboy. But as you can see also here, when we were trying to close out the app, it was a lot quicker here in Android 4.2 Jelly Bean and on the Nexus 4. So that was a quick loading website. Let's go ahead and try to load at Facebook. And wow, a lot quicker. There we go, it has loaded everything. So it was like a few seconds quicker here on the Nexus 4. You can see when we're going down here, kind of is the same experience. I mean, but a little bit, it feels still, I think, a little bit better here. On the Galaxy S3, it feels like it responds a little bit quicker, you know, in my things I'm trying to do here. Just a tiny bit quicker. I mean, like, there's no way, but both are very smooth, of course. But for me personally, it seems like it's quicker, a little bit quicker. Not that much, you know, not by that much, but a little bit. So in terms of loading, you know, it seems like it's loading up a little bit quicker, but I still would prefer the Galaxy S3 here, because it felt a little bit more rapid or something. People are probably going to call me a fanboy and all those good things, but hey, it's personal. If you go ahead now and try out the YouTube app, I'm going to go ahead and fire up YouTube on both these two devices. And we're going to go ahead and see my channel feed. Okay, there we go, finish up faster here on the Nexus 4. And let's go ahead and see here. Okay, YouTube recommends. Okay, that's kind of weird. I'm both on channel feed both, but I see different things. I see one video here. Okay, now we have kind of the same videos. It's kind of weird though, how that works. Nexus 4 versus iPhone 5. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Oh my god, I need to make a video like that. Okay, let's go ahead and search here. Let's go ahead and fire up video. And the screen, the keyboard is a little bit smaller here, it feels like. Or probably it is a little bit smaller. There we go, finish up a tiny bit quicker on the Nexus 4. Both have an ad. I think it was a little bit quicker there again. A little bit quicker again. A little bit quicker again. There we go, a little bit quicker. Let's go ahead and play this video. It's one of my iPhone videos. Personally, I think it looks better here with the vibrant colors on the Galaxy S3 display here. Especially when you take a look here at the iPhone in the video. I like it more. But then you can also argue that this one looks a little bit more real. But both are amazing displays. I mean, like, what can I say? But again, in terms of loading, a little bit quicker. A little bit quicker. There we go. There we go. So, you know, in terms of loading YouTube videos, a tiny bit quicker, no big deal. Then, you know, it's a big thing here if you, what kind of screen technology you prefer to view a video in. Do you like the Super AMOLED screens more? I mean, like, that's totally up to you to go ahead and decide. Now, let's go ahead and check out some quick Google Maps here as well. Some quick loading here. So, let's see here. So we have maps on both these two devices. It should be updated to the latest version. Let's go ahead and see if we can go ahead and fire on the GPS. Maybe the GPS already turned on. Let's go ahead and see if you can find me. Please enable Google Apps location access. Okay, how do I do that? My location source in system settings. Okay, that's something I think both is kind of horrible. Okay, there we go, GPS. Let's see here, do we even have the option over here? Let's see here, owner, brightness, settings, Bluetooth. Okay, you don't have any GPS settings. Why? Why do you have to go into settings to enable that? I'm kind of surprised here. Where is the GPS settings? Location access maybe. GPS satellites should be access my location. Okay. Okay. Please enable Google Apps location. What the F is that? I don't even know what it is. Come on, Google. This is stock Android. I'm not sure what Google Apps location access is. Where do I enable it? Something very bad there with Android, I think. You know, could be something used with the new version of Android, but I don't know what it is. Let's go ahead and search for the place where I'm being located at. You know, if you want to stalk me. Oh yeah. Let's see here. So I'm not sure how you do that. Of course, we can see that the UI is kind of the same here on both. I mean, like, the thing I was more interested in here was, let's see here, get directions. So let's go ahead and type in, there we go. Let's go ahead and type in the same place here. Let's see which one loads up quicker. Navigation, get directions. Okay, weird. Okay, let's go ahead and tap on get directions. Oh, interesting. It was a little bit, tiny bit quicker. Also loading all the things here. Okay, I had walking here. Okay, that was kind of interesting. Too bad though that I'm not sure how to enable the GPS here. I'm probably gonna get like millions of angry comments on this video because I don't know what Google Apps location access is. I have no idea. For real, bro. I don't know. The GPS is turned on and that should be the only thing that I have to do. Or it should have a quick option there to go to that place and enable it. But yeah, I mean, like, Google Apps seems to be kind of the same here on both. Maybe a little bit quicker here on the Galaxy S3, but you know, no big deal. And it was easier here to activate the GPS, especially on the Galaxy S3. So I gotta say, the Galaxy S3, it's rocking here. It's kind of killing. Let's go ahead and check out Twitter. And you can especially see here on the Twitter logo, wow, it looks a lot more colorful and a little bit more light color. Yeah, on the not super IPS, true IPS. Yeah, I'm sorry, LG, sorry. And I also want the I want to remove things that I have in the background. Let's go ahead and see here if we can load at the same time. There we go. Let's see, I try it again. There we go, a little bit quicker on the Nexus. A little bit quicker. But in terms of loading tweets here, let's see if we can go ahead. There we go. Tiny bit quicker, I think. On the on the Nexus 4. On the Nexus 4, yeah. So quickly look there at Twitter as well. If we now also go ahead and check out some quick downloading from the Play Store. There we go. It seems like it also is rendering a lot quicker here in Android 4.2 and also on the Nexus 4. So let's go ahead and type in. Let's see here. Do I have Spotify on this device? Okay. Awesome. No. It's something I think is kind of weird with TouchWiz. Like when I hold in and trying to delete like something, it doesn't actually delete it. The way I need to delete something is that I need to go into the Play Store. So I need to go here into the Play Store, and then I need to like search for Spotify, and then I need to like uninstall it. A little bit annoying. It should just be quick, easy delete. So let's go ahead now and search for Spotify over here, and let's see which one finish up quicker to go ahead and install it. There we go, installing a lot quicker here. There we go, a lot quicker to install apps, it seems like, on the Nexus 4. Also very good sign over there. Green, a lot more green here. What's a little bit more light green here. On the True HD IPS display, which one do you like the more? Tell me that in the comment section down below. But both very gorgeous displays. Oh my god. Oh my god, I like them both, It's like two brothers or something, like, you can't hate either one of these. So very fun there. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at some gaming, or, quick gaming performance, and check out the GPU performance. So we're gonna go ahead and fire up GTA Vice City here on both these two devices. Tiny bit quicker on the Nexus 4. As you can see, I've already been playing here. I've already been playing this game a lot on my Galaxy S3. Can't go ahead and skip this intro. There we go. Let's go ahead and try out the performance here. A little bit annoying here, of course, I think with the capacity, that you get these kind of buttons, and maybe you like tap the wrong button over here. It's a little bit easier to not do that if you are probably on the Galaxy S3 here, even though the buttons, there is a menu button down here. So let's go ahead and check out the performance a little bit quick. The performance-wise, it performs actually pretty good here with Adreno 320 GPU. Go ahead and go in here. I don't think it's as good as the Mali 400 on the Galaxy S3, but it's not bad. Let's go ahead and see here. I had a little very small choppiness action. CFR is very good though. You can definitely play it, but sometimes I can feel here when it's getting a little bit too many cars, it feels a little bit, you can feel a little bit that, there we go, I felt a little bit again that the GPU is, it performs pretty good. Okay, there we go, I actually didn't touch this button, so that's a problem with the, buttons that is in the screen. and sometimes you just tap it, but you probably will get used to that. There we go, I can feel it again. It doesn't feel as good as on the Mala 400. Still pretty good though, you know, still not extremely bad. But here with the thinner Galaxy S3, wow, it feels good. It feels good, man. It feels very, very good. And I love the Super AMOLED screen here, especially I can see it in gaming that, wow, I want the Super AMOLED screen. But the Mali 400 MP seems to be a lot better here for me personally. Seems like it's responding a little bit quicker. So, you know, in terms of hardcore gaming here, and also feels a lot more nice for me personally, that you don't have any buttons here. It's a little bit harder to accidentally, hit the menu button. But yeah, definitely the performance-wise, it's better here. On the Galaxy S3, still, I didn't have major lag issue on the Nexus 4, but you can feel it sometimes when you have a lot of cars and action going on. It wasn't performing as good. I gotta kill the guy. But still very, very good though. But not as good as this device. And I definitely feel here that I really do appreciate the design here of the Galaxy S3, that it's more curved and it's thinner, and you don't really think that you don't really care if it has like a plastic back or anything. You actually don't really care when you have this amazing performance over here with this game and all those things. So, you know, in terms of gaming, it seems like, you know, the GPU is good, better, you know, of course in the Galaxy S3, and, you know, it really makes an awesome experience here. It definitely curves so much nice here, the Galaxy S3 in my hand. This one is a little bit more bulky, especially on the sides. It doesn't feel as good, a little bit more sharp edges, even though it has like, it has this kind of rubber feel, you know, around the edge, and that's something I definitely do like. You know, I think that's so amazing. So we download an app now, try out some gaming. Let's go ahead and try out some speed testing. So we're gonna go ahead and fire up speed test on both these two devices. Okay, I agree. Let's go ahead and see if we are on the same place. Nope, we aren't. There we go. Gonna go ahead and start off here with the Nexus 4. Oh, oops. We are showing it in kilobits or something, but 27 megabits down, 18 up. Let's go ahead and do that again now on the Galaxy S3. Cool, so we're gonna go ahead and do it on this boy. You get around 10, 11, 12, 13. As you did see in the browser, it was a little bit quicker than Nexus 4, but you know, my personal experience here in terms of UI and that you zoom in a lot quicker, it's much more nice. You know, so this test might not tell you that much. Upload seems to be about the same. Download seems to be a lot better here, so you should actually try to download something very, very big here. And maybe if you do that on your Nexus 4, maybe you can confirm that it's a lot better here. But it seems to be a lot more stable here, especially download on the Nexus 4. Upload seems to be about the same, but it could also be this kind of test. It could also be this running on a new version of Android, but it shouldn't be. It could also be that the server is kind of unstable. But there should be some kind of, I think there is like torrent apps available here. When we make these at the same time, you can also see again, it seems like the download is performing a lot better here on the Nexus 4 compared to the Galaxy S3. But, you know, real life performance, it seems like, you know, it's a little bit quicker, you know, 1 to 2 seconds, but, you know, no big deal. There we go. So it actually did crush the Galaxy S3 in this kind of in that kind of test. Of course, I'm connected both these two devices to my home Wi-Fi network. So now let's go ahead and do some quick benchmarking. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fire up Antutu benchmark on both these two devices. So let's see here if we can go ahead and find it over here. There we go. So we got an old score here. Let's go ahead and try it again now. And we have a lot of apps open up in the background. So I'm just going to go ahead and go to the test area on both these two devices. And then I'll go ahead and start off the test. So it's going to test a lot of things. It's going to test the CPU and the memory, and I'm pretty sure also the GPU and all those things, and then we're going to get a very, very overall score here, so we can really see a little bit more about the full potential, even though I showed some things in this video, but it's kind of hard to show everything. But it will test some quick things here, and we can really get a quick picture here. I mean, I don't know exactly what Adreno 320 can do versus MALI 400, and also the Qualcomm APQ 8064 chipset. Also very interesting, quad-core 1.5 GHz Crate versus quad-core Cortex A9, clocked a little bit lower compared to the Crate one, but still kind of interesting. And green here, you can definitely see it again, a lot more green, a little bit more like a light green color. What you prefer, that's, you know, it's totally up to you. Like, everyone prefer different things, and that's the beauty of the Android world. You can really get like different things. There we go, as you see, some 3D testing here. Seems like it is speeding up here, and that it's a lot quicker here. Could be the CPU that's better, I'm not sure. Crate one could be a pretty powerful one. But I was kind of surprised that, you know, in terms of especially the browser, I thought it felt better when I zoomed in and out. On the Galaxy S3, definitely. A lot better. So we do a lot of testing here. FPS 13, around 30 here. Wow. So the general GPU may be a ton better. Maybe GTA Vice City is a lot more optimized for the MALI 400. I mean, I've only been trying out the game. But I got around 30 FPS here, I did see. On the Nexus 4 on that test, so I only got around 13, 15 on the Galaxy S3. So testing some SD card speed. Okay, there we go, 15,378. Let's go ahead and wait for the score here on the Galaxy S3. And remember, this is a new phone as well, but it could also be a cheaper phone, you know, it depends on where you live. There we go. So I think my last score here was 16,000, something like that. But it seems like the CPU is actually a little bit quicker here on the Nexus 4. So overall, in this benchmark score, Nexus 4 performed better, 15,378 versus 14,660. Then you also did see that I had like 16,000 in my last test. Could be because, you know, you have 2 GB RAM here on the Nexus 4, and we have a lot of apps open up in the background. So could be that those 2 GB really powers in over here, and so you can see that we got a better score here on the Nexus 4, but very much the same here. The GPU, oh my god, 7,635, almost twice the MALI 400. So Adreno 320 may be extremely powerful, but GTA Vice City might be more optimized for MALI 400 than Adreno 320 because more people use the Galaxy S3. So I'm pretty sure RAM here also seems to be actually better. That's interesting. So almost twice here. No, okay, 3,000, around 2,000 almost. So even though, you know, you get 1 GB here, you get 2 GB here, that's kind of interesting. So very interesting there. So the biggest difference there was in terms of the GPU, but in real life performance, when I tried out GTA Vice City, of course I only been trying out one game. You know, you can try out more games and, you know, see for yourself, but I can't do every single task here in this video. Also go ahead and check out some voice. Of course, with TouchWiz on my Samsung device here, you get S Voice, and of course you also get with Android 4.1 Jelly Bean, which I've updated this device to. You also get Google Now. and Google Now is updated more in Android 4.2 Jelly Bean compared to 4.1, so you get more cards. You know, your Google Now can keep track of where you are. You know, if you search something in Maps on your desktop browser, it could display a card for when you get to that place or something like that. It could keep track of your flights, your book flights. You know, it's of course in beta mode right now. But it has a ton of, you know, movie tickets and all those things. Google Now is really going to be amazing. But you don't have something like Siri or, you know, something like that in the stock version of Android. But you get kind of S voice here on my Galaxy S3. So if I want to set an alarm here, either I can use S voice here or I can use Google Now on my Galaxy S3. So I'm just going to go ahead and demonstrate S voice over here first, because this one doesn't have anything like S voice or like Siri, I'm pretty sure. So I'm just going to go ahead and activate it by double tap. Set alarm for 6 p.m.
Saving the 1800 alarm.
So as you see, it was set an alarm here with S voice.
Okay, I saved your alarm.
Or I can go ahead and use Google Now, so I can go ahead and go up here. Set alarm for 6 p.m.
Setting alarm.
As you see, it works both ways. Here we also have an updated version of Google Now, of course, because it's Android 4.2. So as you can see, it also works here. Set alarm for 6 p.m. There we go. As you see, it works. And you can also ask Google Now other questions like, who is Bill Gates? There we go. And you can see we get some more detailed things here. So Google is trying to bring you the answer immediately. Let's see if we ask who is Bill Gates here. Who is Bill Gates?
Here is the answer to your question.
Oh, okay, so you can do both here. Wow, you got a lot of information here. Yeah, they are also taking information here from Wolfram Alpha, which is something I actually didn't know that S Voice were doing. So it's kind of works the same here as Siri, but Siri of course is a lot quicker, more optimized, definitely personally. But this is kind of interesting here. So that's very interesting. So you can, you know, Google Now. Me personally, Google Now is a lot better. You know, for me personally, because I use Google a lot. But S Voice is a little bit slow here as well. That's something that's very, very annoying. But of course, I can use Google Now also here because I'm rocking Android 4.1 Jelly Bean, and that was in that version of Android that Google Now came. So quick little look there at some, you know, voice search and all those good, awesome things. Now let's go ahead and take a quick look at the Kindle app. So, you know, in terms of reading, let's go ahead and fire up the Amazon Kindle on both these two devices. So, okay, let's go ahead and go over there. So, what I can see first of all is that I can see that white looks more natural for me personally. I think white is looking better on the True HD IPS display and then on the Super AMOLED screen. So, you know, in terms of a reading experience here, I think it looks better. But then also black looks a little bit more black here on the AMOLED screen, but I think that could also bring a little bit of a cartoon feeling, maybe a little bit. It looks a little bit more serious, I think, on the True HD IPS display here. So in terms of reading, True HD IPS is definitely the winner for me. Also, that you get a little 10 more PPIs, pixels per inch. I can see that a little bit, it feels like. The text looks a little bit more clear here. You can argue that you can't see 10 more PPIs, but me personally, it looks a little better. Of course, in terms of performance, when you're switching pages and all those things, it's no big deal. But for me personally, True HD IPS is amazing for reading. It really is amazing. You get 10 more PPIs, yeah. No big deal over there, but I like it more. Kindle, come on, yeah. Nexus, LG, you are awesome there with reading True HD IPS. It's amazing. Now, let's go ahead and continue on here to check out the camera a little bit, even though I already stated my opinion that, you know, white balance seems to be better on Nexus 4, but it doesn't seem to, you know, when I move around the camera and everything, it's a little bit, a little bit choppy, a little bit laggy. As you know, one of the big things I hated with the HTC One X, and also in terms of, you know, when you focus on stuff, it seems like it's a lot more clear. You know, stuff is a lot more clear here on the Galaxy S3, and it seems like it's focusing quicker. You know, but if white balance is important for you, then this baby boy might be better for you. If you go ahead and fire up the camera a little bit quick here, and also something I definitely should say here is, oh wait a sec, you can see myself, yeah boy, you can see the camera layout, yeah, or you can see the front facing camera. The software, of course, is a lot better in Android 4.2 Jelly Bean than in Android 4.1 Jelly Bean, and you get kind of like the TouchWiz. You know, Samsung has made the experience a little bit different with their TouchWiz UI in the camera app, but it's really killer deal. The software is way better here in Android 4.2 Jelly Bean. You can see that I just need to hold in a finger here on the screen to get access to quick settings. It's extremely nice. And as you can see, we can take pictures, we can take video, and I can't show off the white balance right now, but when I was in my kitchen, the white balance seems to be better on the Nexus 4. But in terms of quality, like, you know, in sharpness and everything, when you are a little bit far away from objects, it seems like it's better on the Galaxy S3. Also seems like the Galaxy S3, I'm pretty sure it also can take pictures a lot faster. So when I go ahead now and fire up the camera, let's go ahead and see here. Also, you know, it seems like it's updating things quicker. The UI ain't that nice though, you know. Of course, Android 4.2 Jelly Bean really is going to be a killer deal. It's going to be extremely nice for the Galaxy S3 once it will be out. And of course, you can take pictures quicker as well, which is something that's extremely nice. You have these kinds of built-in effects. Here we go, nice. I really like this burst mode, like when you want to take a good, nice shot. Of course, it's extremely nice. Then also in terms of software, it's extremely nice with the Nexus 4 that you can take like 360-degree pictures. For me personally, when I tried it out a little bit, I don't think it works that good. You know, it's not as good as the panorama mode basically, but both of course also have panorama mode, and you know, those things that start to get a little bit, you know, that most, you know, devices has that. So to sum up now, and you know, take also a quick look here at you know, a little bit quick look here at the UI. Of course, you get TouchWiz UI on top of Android here, but of course, if you're a hacker and, you know, if you like to flash stuff, you want to have your own firmware, and you want to have this kind of look here on the Galaxy S3, of course you can get those things. Like, you can flash that. There's CyanogenMod, there are different kinds of, you know, firmware and ROMs that you can get on the Galaxy S3. If you do want to have all of these features, you can kind of get that in Galaxy S3 in terms of software. But if you aren't, you know, playing around that much with stuff, you know, this is what you're gonna get. So multitasking on the Galaxy S3 is holding down the button here. One thing that's extremely nice, I think, here is like with one tap I can close every single app. That's not available here on the Nexus. I can close everything with one tap. So it's extremely annoying here. As you can see, I can close it immediately. Even though it says no recent apps, I think they'll kind of open up as well in the background. But here I have to, you know, continue to swipe down. It seems like there's probably one easy way or something to, you know, remove everything a little bit quicker. So that's kind of multitasking. If you go ahead and check out notifications, notification area on both these two devices. In the new kind of like official Android 4.1.2 Jelly Bean update, I'm pretty sure on the Galaxy S3 you also can toggle brightness a little bit, you know, quick here with the brightness slider. You have quick widgets here that you can just quickly enable and disable, and it's better than on Android 4.2 Jelly Bean here on my Nexus, because first I need to tap to access those widgets. Here they are already available, and then let's say I want to edit, you know, if I want to have airplane mode turn on or something like that. Let's see here. Okay, there we go. One thing is very bad here. Let's say I want to toggle Wi-Fi on and off here. It's just one tap on the TouchWiz UI experience. Well, first I need to tap 1 here, and then I need to tap Wi-Fi here, and then it goes into the Wi-Fi settings. I just want to enable it, and connect it to my favorite network. Why didn't you do that with Android? The stock version of Android, that kind of sucks. I also have one quick swipe there to remove everything. We also have one clear thing here, and I have a quick option here to go to settings immediately. While on this boy, I need to first tap over here, and then I need to tap and go to settings. So a little bit more clicks here in the kind of UI experience in the stock version of Android. So I think Sammy did a good job there. Really optimized that thing. If you go ahead and enable Wi-Fi again, as you can see, I need to tap here. I need to, now finally it will start to connect to my network. There we go, finally. So let's go ahead and continue down the line here. Of course, widgets, they're both running Android, so you have those widget area on both these two devices. Let's see here, let's go to widgets. This is the built-in widget, and really the new clock widget in Android 4.2 Jelly Bean really is a killer deal. It really looks amazing. I really like that kind of widget. Let's see here if we can go ahead and drag and drop that. There we go. Let's go ahead and tap on it. Compare it to the clock widget on my Galaxy S3. As you can see, I can tap on it and change another country, but it's extremely more nice here on Android 4.2 Jelly Bean here. First I have the clock here, and then I also can swipe very quick to start the timer. And then also if I continue to swipe down here, I can also have a countdown little timer. So extremely nice. I think it's way more nice. I use this when I want to boil eggs or something like that. I use that, and it's a killer deal for me. Like, it's such a nice experience. Also the lock screen, I can quickly show it to you. Haven't done that, of course here with this kind of experience with stock version of Android 4.2, you have two apps that you can quickly have here on the side. So as you can see, when I swipe quickly on the lock screen to the right, I have the camera there, and when I swipe quickly to the left here, I can add an app here like Facebook or something. So extremely nice. Also, when I drag up like this, let's see here. As you can see, when I swipe up like this, I can quickly go to Google Now. Let's see here. It should go quick to Google Now. Let's see. Okay, it didn't do that. Okay, awkward. There we go. Okay, there we go. So if we want to quickly go ahead and go to Google Now over here, you need to tap here on this little button here, and then quickly go to Google Now. So quick little thing there. So quick look there as well on the lock screen. Now if I'm gonna quickly try to sum it up here, the advantages, the big advantage I see with the Nexus 4 here is, price in the States, it should definitely be a lot cheaper than the S3. Build quality, like if you really do like this kind of glass and iPhone feeling, this could be something for you if you like the iPhone 4S feeling, maybe not the iPhone 5 because they removed this kind of back. Kind of rubber, nice feeling here. And also that you're gonna get like the latest version of Android, quicker, you don't have to think about flash and do flash and stuff like that. This really could be something for you, and also it has like kind of like a modern feel to it, and a lot of people want to feel it and hold, and it actually feels better, and it has like a nice design here with the Nexus text there. This device could be something for you, but the big thing probably for most people is going to be the pricing, and then also the build quality, and that you get like the latest version of Android. On the Galaxy S3, I gotta say that the CPU and GPU seem to perform better. GTA wise, it could have though been more optimized for Malak 400. I'm not sure. I have to try out more games to see if that makes a difference. Camera also takes quicker, faster pictures, and also it seems like it takes have a lot more details in the pictures, and it's not as choppy when you move around. So definitely camera is also a big thing. Why I picked the Galaxy S3. But as I said, also the GPU, CPU seems to be performing extremely amazing there. The AMOLED screen is so vibrant as well. Really is something that I do appreciate a lot. Also battery, I do know that Samsung has been very good at battery life with their latest flagship devices, so that could also be a thing why I would prefer the Galaxy S3. But LG, they've become better and better, and they've also been very good here at the battery. So both these two devices, of course, has the same kind of battery, even though I haven't tried that much. Quick little video here. Which one do you think is the winner? For me, clearly the Galaxy S3 is still the winner for me, but the Nexus 4 is still extremely nice phone. So I really do hope you enjoyed this video. So if you did that, please leave a like and I would definitely appreciate it. If you want me to review the Nexus 4 versus another phone or something, then you can please tell me that in the comment section down below. And if you want to buy any of these two devices, I will also leave a link in the description if you want to go ahead and do that. So yeah, just have an awesome day now, and I will see you all hopefully in the next video. Yes, peace out.